Munaye Sowa Tayata Om Muni Muni Maha Munaye Sowa.
Hola, buenas tardes. Bienvenidos al Centro Cultural Aztlan. El director de nuestra escuela es León Azulay, que en breve estará presente junto a nosotros. Hoy presentando esta actividad que para nosotros es un verdadero honor, una gran alegría, poder recibir por segundo año consecutivo a astrólogas, en este caso, como la licenciada Tenzin Yanki, y a médicas, como vamos a tener el día domingo, del Instituto Medicina. Si ustedes no lo conocen, además de la reseña que les estamos entregando, les contamos brevemente que el Medicina es el Instituto de Medicina y Astrología, fundado en 1961 por su Santidad el Dalai Lama, en la India, en Dharamsala, donde ellos están en su sede en el exilio, y con un montón de filiales a lo largo de toda la India. Así que tenemos la gran oportunidad hoy de escuchar de primera mano en este seminario a la licenciada Tenzin Yanki, junto a Paula, que nos va a hacer la traducción sobre qué es la astrología tibetana, que es un poco diferente. Si conocen algo de astrología occidental, hay algunos puntos de conexión y hay otras cosas que son bastante diferentes. Es muy interesante, es una ciencia muy completa, así que esperamos que disfruten de este encuentro, de esta enseñanza, y al finalizar quizás haya oportunidad para hacer las preguntas. Muchas gracias.
Tashi Dillik and hola to everyone. And thank you for the brief introduction about Medicina. Since she already introduced me, so I don't need to repeat my name and from my institute. Okay. So today I will begin with my presentation, and today's my topic is like a brief introduction of Tibetan astroscience. So in Tibetan we have a tradition that before presenting anything we pay homage. So here I want to pay homage to His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama. So I'm saying this prayer. In the land surrounded by walls of snow mountains, the source of benefit and happiness, Tenzin Yanki, embodiment of Avalokiteshvara, resides. May his lotus feet stand firm until the end of samsara. So we will go to the next slide. And what is Tibetan astroscience? So Tibetan astroscience is one of the 10 traditional Tibetan fields of science, such as we have like Buddhism, philosophy, dance, music, etc., etc. And Tibetan astroscience plays a very important role in the science of healing. And Tibetan astroscience is especially inseparable from the practice of Tibetan medicine. And therefore, in our institute, Medicina, both astrological students and medical students, they have to learn basic of Tibetan medicine. Doctors should learn basic of Tibetan astroscience, and astro has to learn the basic of Tibetan medicine. So Tibetan astroscience is an holistic approach. So it deals with mundane activities, it deals with your body and spirituality. So what unique about Tibetan astroscience is that these days we say that astrology it's working separately only, and it's mostly related with the day-to-day activities like divination, horoscope, like that. And we Tibetan astroscience is deal with these things like casting horoscope, details, doing this, but at the same time we plays a very important role in spirituality and maintaining good health, so interconnection with the body and spirituality. So therefore in our system, when we do a calculation or something, there's lots of rituals and prayers that are directly related with the spirituality, and there are specific spiritual activities, wrathful rituals that should be done on specific auspicious days as per the astro. Since we don't have to say much about the astrology and connection with the health and body, as our institute is the life example of how astrology and how medicine help to the sentient being for having good health, mental health and physical health. So if I go a little bit about this, in our institute, from the preparation of medicine, there are specific medicine which has to prepare on auspicious day. For example, during the 8th month of lunar 8th month of full moon day, we have to prepare special medicine, and at the time of like picking herbs also. So from collecting herbs, like which is the correct time to have pick the herbs, and second thing like compounding medicines, and third is when the medicine is prepared, it's not from factory to the patient, it's after the factory it goes to lots of like spiritual blessing, lots of prayers are done for that medicine. Yes, and that auspicious date it should be calculated through by calculating astrology, at which date is favorable for such blessing of medicines. So, so far we have just discussed the overview of Tibetan astroscience. Now we go the brief introduction on Tibetan astroscience. So, if we say that what is Tibetan astroscience? So, Tibetan astroscience is the consolidated and combination of these three fields, and without this, Tibetan astroscience is incomplete. Yes, and first we have indigenous Tibetan astrology, and second we have elemental astrology, and third we have Kalachakra astrology or astronomical part.
Yes, I have already said that.
Ah, wow.
Es lo que acabo de decirles, son los 3 puntos que mencioné antes.
Oh, so first we will take the first one, indigenous Tibetan astrology.
Vamos.
So this astrology is the system of knowledge that has been practiced in Tibet since the dawn of human civilization, through analyzing thunders, rainbows and several. So this is like a basic or the root of Tibetan astroscience, which is indigenous, not influenced and affected by the neighboring countries. So after that indigenous, after our own indigenous way of system of astrology, now we move to the second one, the elemental astrology. As it is very evident from the name itself, elemental, which is like fire, water, metal, earth. This system of astrology was taught by Lord Manjushri in the 5-peak mountain during the full moon day of 11th lunar month in 837 BC. Like we do horoscope, we do charts, compatibility, these all are part of under the elemental astrology. Since we said that this elemental astrology calculation deals with 5 elements, and after this calculation, we do like a natal horoscope, this like a compatible 1-year predictions, and prediction for the disease, and miscellaneous calculation. So I will explain little bit about each astrological calculation. Okay, so we have that. Next slide.
Yes.
So if you go for natal horoscope, like it looks like this, the planetary influence at the time of your birth, what is the ascendant, 12th house and 9 planets, and it starts from the day of your birth until the end of your birth. It's like a map of your life. And for example, if I am in Argentina and I got a map, I can at least travel where I should go, where I should not. It's like the same, if you have your natal chart, it will somehow explain you, it will somehow give you hint where you should make correct decisions and what you should avoid. And most important, it will tells you your strength and it will let you know about your weakness. So we will go to next one.
Okay.
Yes.
Next one.
This is compatibility chart. As from the picture, you can see that the
Yes.
yes. So we Tibetan are very fond of this compatibility. Okay, so this compatibility, it shows that whether the partner is compatible, whether the partner ear sign, animal sign are compatible, their element are compatible or not, how their relationship gonna work, either it will be a short span or long term. And it will also tells about the health. Sometimes it happens that when we get married to someone, we get sick. Yes, sometimes some bad things happen. So it will tell you regarding your health, your offspring, baby, how your wealth gonna be, how your luck and prosperity gonna be. So after doing all compatibility, it's everything is correct. Then we should also marry on special date. You can't marry anything. Special date. When we get married, there are more rituals. So what should offer to the bride? Who should take the like bridesmaid in? Maybe you're in yes, some bridesmaid going like in Tibetan. So this is all about compatibility and marriages. And next we have is
a la tercera.
obstacle year.
Yes.
And this is a kind of prediction that we want for a single year and particular year. And for example, those who don't want to go for the detailed horoscope, they just want to know what 2000 upcoming years will be like. So for that person, we do a 1 year prediction. Yeah, and it will see the rise and fall of luck, fortune, health, and wealth in one particular year. Yeah, and this type of calculation can be done for a particular person, but can also be done as a family. And generally, in general, you know, the obstacle year or transitional year is like 1 year, 13 year, 25, 37, 25,
25,
37,
27, 27,
yes, 49,
49,
61,
61,
73,
73,
85,
85,
97 and go on.
90
These are the
obstáculo.
year of transition. When a person, this is for journal, when a person reach around such years, you know, they are likely to experience something is significant change. So you can calculate whether you are in obstacle year or not. But you have to add 1 more year because Tibetan calendar you have to plus 1. Next we have this astrological for the ill health, and here it's maybe said ill health, but it doesn't mean that it should be the person should be sick, you know. It can be it can cast for a healthy person to see upcoming illness, and for the sick person, if some person is sick and through several ways of medication, therapy, they are not getting relief, you know. With this, you know, sometimes it's related with the energy, sometimes it's related with the Lu, spirit, and karmic disease. So through this calculation, we can reveal that, we can know that. And it will, through this prediction, you can also know that whether that particular illness will cure quickly or not, whether this illness will take time or not. Yeah, and also, you know, this through this calculation, you know, people can know that what system of medicine will be suitable, whether to go for allopathy, homeopathy, Western medicine, Tibetan medicine. So overall, you know, this can be done for a healthy person and as well as for the, you know, ill person. So next we have a deceased.
Yes.
Yes, deceased. Yeah. Maybe Tibetan astroscience is only pay. You know, there are so many astrology in this world, you know, practicing different. But Tibetan astrology, the work of astrologers is not only from birth to death, but also after the death we calculate. Yes, and if one person die in the family, first of all we go to seek this chart, and in this prediction we say that who the person who can touch the body and who cannot. And we also say that whether that such person has lived up to his life ripe age or not, is there any kind of lifespan left. And after that, during the funeral ceremony, we find the date. When is the good date, auspicious date to carry the body to the funeral ground, and what prayers should be done from the family members, and what rituals should do in order for him to get good rebirth. And it has become one of the most important practice in our community. People may not go for natal chart or everything, but death chart they definitely do. So next we have like miscellaneous calculation. For such person who don't have time for all those lengthy details and all that, they want a specific answer. For example, whether they can do a doctor, whether they can do a paint artist, whether which country is suitable or not. For such it's go. Yes, now through calculation of natal chart, compatibility, 1 year prediction, we just as Tibetan, we just don't scare that person that everything is going to be bad or something, but we also give remedies, rituals. So remedies are in the form of either prayers or wearing particular amulet or doing particular rituals and rites. So for some there are specific disease like we have special rituals like appeasing Naga deities, for the wealth, appeasing wealth deities. There are specific prayers, mantras that one person should follow, practice. Yes, and also likewise prayers and amulet, like I said, that obstacle year like 1, 13, 25, that person should wear a red amulet for 2 years. Yes, and the yellow amulet for all the protection. As you can see here, the amulet are in different colors. So, that can be done according to the calculation, what you require. Some people, they require for the financial, some only for the health. So, these are particularly prepared according to one's date of birth. Yes, and most important is not only rituals, prayers, mantras, but most important is, self-improvement and, and overcoming limitations, If you have any negative thing, overcoming that. And balancing your strong points and knowing your weak points. So this balancing emotions. So now, so far we have discussed like Tibetan astroscience, which is like indigenous, elemental. So under the elemental astrology, so these things are there. So after that, we will go to the third one, right? Yes, astronomy, and this is taught by Tibetan astronomical part, or we can also call that Kala Chakra astrology. It was taught by Lord Buddha in the manifestation of Kala Chakra deity in South India, 881 BC. Mm-hmm. So Lord Buddha came in the manifestation of Kala Chakra deity. So we can show the picture of. So Lord Buddha taught Kala Chakra, and Kala Chakra has 3 chapters like external, internal, and intermediate. It deals with the universe, external universe, and how its effect on internal being. So you will understand in next slide, as I mentioned. So we use this in a preparing almanac. So from our institute, we yearly publish these 3 different types of almanac calendar. First, the brief one is like wall calendar, and where it's dates and whether the auspicious days or not, just a day, a week, month, only that. And that one, the green one, pocket diary we call it, and it has elemental combination, little detail elemental combination, so you can see by, it's also in English, everyone can see and use that. And the last one is detailed calendar, and in that calendar we have prediction for whole year and prediction for one month each year, and it is the most detailed almanac. Yes, and it also predicts like weather forecast, solar, lunar eclipse.
Y también lo que se puede ver en eso son los eclipses solares, los eclipses lunares, está todo ahí, es bien detallado.
So we don't have like spacecraft or going to the moon or something, but through calculation, we see the lunar eclipse, and it almost, and Tibetan astroscience student, we have to study for 6 years, and after the completion of studies, we have to prepare one almanac. So I am passed out in 2008, and I had prepared the calendar of 2028. 2028. I already prepared this calendar. So now in Untitled Chapter astrology, we also have like Yangchar. Yangchar, if we translate it literally, Yang means vowel, Char means arising. So we do like arising vowel, literal translation. And it was taught as a manifested form of like Lord Parvati and Shiva as like Avalokiteshvara and Tara. And it was taught in the god realm, because to solve the problems with the god and demigod, we believe like that. And this Yangchar is the calculation of this Yangchar is for the small thing and divinations, not for the detailed one, quick answers. These Yangchar methods are used for prediction, for pacifying, minimizing the effect of bad planets, like that. So in Yangchar, we have different chakras or different tables, wheels, we can call it also. Yes, as you can see in the picture, there are several different tables, and each has different uses, such as fixing the marriage ceremonies, date of traveling, doing Naga pujas, and different types. Like if you go for natal horoscope, we use such tables. So far we have maybe you have had a little bit of overview of Tibetan astroscience. Yes, I have given the brief introduction to Tibetan astroscience, so that at least when you leave, at least you can have something to take, instead of going very detailed or describing on each element and all these things. So Tibetan astroscience is combination of our own indigenous, elemental and Kala chakra. So this is. So next we have, what is? And this is called Sashong, a Tibetan calculator. We should calculate in this sandboard. Yes, iron pen. We don't have to use like this, we have to like this. So this is eco-friendly, we don't need papers, and it can calculate more digits than modern calculators. So somehow we are protecting the environment also by not cutting trees for papers.
Yes.
As we talk about the calendars, so we have to do calculation in this sandboard. And you can see the sand, this sand, this is the normal sand, but we have to prepare it in a oil, a special thing. So we have different ways of calculating. For example, when we count the number and we write the number, we have to from right to left, not like when you write. Yes, and also like addition and multiplication, division, minus is from left to right. So I have just shown this, and it is still in practice by the astro students. Yes, this is eco-friendly but little messy hands. So next we have like, this is the protection, Tanka. Yes, Sipaho, right? So in the middle, as you can see that from the left, from the right, yes, Avalokiteshvara, Manjushri and Vajrapani. Compassion, wisdom and strength. It is very important, because one person has tried to collect this, you just don't have to go after education, wisdom, if you don't have compassion and strength, you can't help others, you can't fulfill that. So in this 21st century, in this world, there's no fall on wisdom, education and strength, power, but we require more compassion. So like we take example to our own country, like Mao Zedong, very intelligent, very educated, but very powerful, but because of lack of compassion, he occupied other country, and so many destruction, people are dying only because of lack of compassion. And if you are very compassionate, but if you don't have wisdom and power, your compassion is it will be for yourself only, not for the. Why this called the Tanka of Protection? Because it protects against the negative energy and evil spirit. You can see in pictures that we have a 12-year sign, Kala Chakra emblem, so many things. These all are protective seal against the negative thing and the malefic planet. And this Tanka is based on Tibetan elemental, and it is designed to neutralize, to balance the negative energy.
Yes.
And in Tibetan, we use this protection Tanka in various occasions, such as before shifting houses, we carry the first thing and we stick that in the door. Yes, and because we believe that if it's stick in the door, the negative energy will not enter. And also during the funeral ceremony, before taking away the body to the funeral ground or some cremation, we carry this protection Tanka in before. Yes, and also for the marriage celebration and enthronement of the king or something. So maybe hope you understand the overview picture of Tibetan astroscience. Because I'm end of my slide. if you don't, I will be very sad. So finally, I will end of my presentation with few notes. Our body is a precious vehicle, and we all go for enlightenment.
Y todos vamos para la iluminación
happiness,
y la felicidad.
This happiness can occur by having good health. It is good health and also guided by astrological. So guided by astrology, guided by medicine, health. With this, you can possibly achieve happiness or enlighten anything. So our institute, it's all about like Men Si Kang means Medicine Astro Institute. So we combine this to help sentient beings, and we try our best to promote healthy body, healthy mind. And thank you all for being very active listening and coming all the way in this rainy and traffic, and it was lovely having you all here. So I have learned one or two words maybe in Spanish, so I would like to tell. I had already said hola, now gracias. Yes, only these two. Thank you.
Perdón por llegar tarde, porque hoy hubo una influencia astrológica acá, porque Urano rige la astrología y hay cuadratura Luna-Urano y se cortó la luz. ¿Se dan cuenta? Bueno, le agradezco mucho su disertación y su enseñanza de astrología, porque es un aporte para lo que nosotros sabemos, así que estaba muy agradecido a Mexican y a usted como persona, como astróloga, muy capaz. Muchas gracias.
Wow, thank you. And thank you for having such event here.
Siempre estamos nosotros a sus órdenes, cuando quiera. Gracias.
Wow. And tell him that he can speak English very good. Yesterday he was speaking.
Y dice que puede hablar inglés muy
American
bien.
accent.
Y usted sabe hablar
American
inglés.
accent,
Bueno,
yes.
Gracias.
Okay. Thank you.
Dayada Om Muni Muni Maha Munaye Soha Dayada Om Muni Muni Maha Muna